משנכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה, and since this year it's a Shana Meuberes, it's a leap year, it's a double dose of Adar, double dose of joy, and double dose of miracles. May we experience miracles, may we see miracles, may we merit to see an overturn, a turnover of the situation that we're currently in. V'nahafoichu asher yishletu haYehudim heima b'seineihem, that the Yehudim, the Jewish people, should be the one controlling, having full control and ownership on the situation against our enemies. So everyone, don't be afraid of the camera. Last week we spoke about page 249, middle of the page. We are settling and we're finishing up the case about the perfect guy. We've been dealing with the perfect guy for a long time. And the disaster that could be from a person who feels perfect about himself.
This is a woman's chair.
That's a good one. Yes.
Perfect guy.
Yeah, so we won't want to talk about that because we don't believe in the perfect guy. Even the Rebbe Rashab does not. And someone that pretends or considers or feels that is actually perfect, we have a big problem with it. So we said there are two types of Yetzer Hara. What's a good word in English for Yetzer Hara? Two types of, I would say, follies, shtus. No?
Yeah.
Two types of shtus. Two types of follies. There's two types of distraction that a person may experience. One distraction is temptation. I'm middle of driving, and I see something on the side, so I'm tempted to
Turn.
not to look at least, to my face. You're right, not the car. Yeah. But when I turn my face, I lose sight and track of where I'm heading, and boom, something can happen. Then there's another problem. It's not about being triggered by something. Not about being triggered by something else, but actually not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or doing it and thinking too much of it. Again, either making excuses for what reason I'm unable to drive faster. Oh, too much traffic, I'm too tired, I don't have my glasses. You know that type of guy? This truck in front of me doesn't let me, just say you left your house late for the appointment. Don't blame the traffic. No, I can't say that. Right? People love to say, everybody runs late to appointments, which is a lie. But it's a good way to, everybody does that. I was talking to, I'm not going to give too much details, setting up a time for a wedding. So what time is the chuppah? 7 o'clock. It says 5:30 on the invitation. No, we write 5:30, so people come at 6:30, so we can start at 7. I'm like, we don't do this. Yeah, in France, that's how you do it. Because if you're going to say 7, nobody's going to show up at 7. But I'm like, but it's not fair. Like the people are going to show up on time, and also people get used. It says 5. Everybody does that. Everybody comes late, anyways. So everybody knows that the time is not the time. No, it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. When you have a flight, there's a time. Anyways, the point is that either a person is distracted from the road, from his journey, from his travels, by something else, is attracted by something else, so he's losing sight, or that he's making excuses. I'm unable to because of, I'm late because of him, and there's too much traffic, and it's raining today, and the car's inside. I'm waited for the elevator for so long. Right? Yeah. Couldn't find my keys. Whatever, real, I'm making an excuse right now. I'm not taking responsibility. We spoke about that. And the third one is someone who's like, he's doing it, but he's like the opposite. I'm always on time. I'm great. Has a lot of pride about his punctuality. So all of that are different types of distractions that we call follies, insanities. It's Yetzer Hara. Why? Because none of that is meant to be part of the picture of our service to God, or Avodat Hashem. When you're serving God, Kol Atzmotai Tomar, now we're supposed to give all we have for Hashem and not even give space, neither for arrogance, neither for excuses, or distraction. So all of them are wrong. But right now we're dealing with the difference between the two. One person, what's his distraction? His distraction from his purpose is an attraction. He has an attraction to something, so that causes a distraction. Mm-hmm. The other person is making an excuse. Or his distraction is his own success. His own accomplishment is your distraction. Your own accomplishment, your own success is your distraction. So, what's worse? And we said last week, there's something valuable about a person whose Yetzer Hara is simply, I did something wrong. I did something bad. I had a cravings. It was temptation. I couldn't hold myself. You know what's good about this? You know what's good about this? At least I know I did something wrong. And deep inside, the person does not feel good about himself. And sooner or later, he's going to regret. He might do it again, but he doesn't feel good about it. But the person who's making excuses doesn't feel guilty at all. Why should he feel guilty? I have a good excuse. It's not my fault. Traffic. Elevator. So, more than that, is a person who is taking much satisfaction in what he has accomplished. That's another type of distraction. You know what? You're never going to challenge yourself if you feel satisfied. You understand the problem? What's wrong with feeling satisfied that I came to the shiur? Or like you said today, I came early, I came on time. That's the right thing to do. Right? So it's good. You can feel good about it, but feeling the satisfaction, a person who feels satisfaction about himself will never try to do more. Will never question, am I actually maximizing? Am I actually doing it? Why? Because I feel satisfied. But worse than that is the person who becomes arrogant because of his accomplishments. This person, we said, Gorem ra'a le'atzmo, in the middle of the page, le'abed kishchonotav v'chushe nafsho. A person who's arrogant about his accomplishment, it's like we have that friend who became very successful, and the word out there is, can't even approach him, can't even talk to him anymore. That person lost his sense of, like his sensitivity to any meaning. Because not only he feels satisfied, but he's arrogant about it. He has no way out. We said earlier he's digging his own grave. Why? Because what really makes a person improve, what really makes a person grow, is the fact that it constantly feels incomplete. Why do you always want to do better? Why do you always want to improve? Because you know what? It was not perfect. You have to start somewhere. I mean, let's talk about the video, the recording. We knew that we're going to start, and it's not going to be exact. It's not going to be exactly like this, and we're not sure if we're doing it, and we're not. But that's the only way to get there. But by doing it and feeling unsatisfied and feeling that I can do better and not being proud about the accomplishment or arrogant will push us to do better the next time. So, once a person reached a level that is so arrogant about his accomplishment, why should he try to improve? Why should he try to become better? I think in modern society, we call this, it's someone that is a sociopath, someone who is detached from reality. Is that the right, like someone who's completely self-centered, egocentric, and you can try to explain to him, you can't do that to me, it's hurtful, or I'm expecting more. Me? Expecting more. I'm the best. And the person who, by the way, the person who considers himself the best doesn't say, I'm the best. He has such a rational conversation with you that you're unable to challenge him or show him there's anything wrong with him. He's not receptive to anything. And a human being that lost the sense of being receptive, of receiving, it's the beginning of the end of it. So here is how the Rebbe Rashab is going to actually explain it. Dehine, kasher klei sichloi rechavim lehavin davar mitech davar. What's the problem? How about a person who is indeed capable? He is talented. And you know what? He doesn't need to put in lots of efforts. He doesn't need to do the work. He spends a few minutes and he knows it. And he gets 85, 90 in the test. So, what's the risk for such a person? The risk for such a person is that the Yetzer Hara, how is he going to be distracted from fulfilling his full potential? Yetzer Hara is going to say, you're so good, you don't need to put in so much effort. Everybody needs to review for 10 hours, 45 minutes, 1 hour, you read the whole thing, you're good. And you get away with 80 something, 85, 90, 95, you're good. Now, what's the problem with this? First problem is that why set a goal, lechatchila, not for 100, if you can get 100? Marks are not important. That's why I tell my kids when I don't want them to lose, self-confidence. Okay, disappointment. Okay, marks not everything in life. Fine, but before the test, you should aim for 100. Right? Baruch Hashem, you don't have any specific shortcomings. You're capable. You just put in the time. So the first distraction, when I say distraction here, I call it Yetzer Hara. First Yetzer Hara of a gifted person, of a talented, of a capable person, is you don't have to work so much. V'haraya? No, not even procrastination. No, that's a procrastination. It's a different condition. So here, Ruach Shtus Mesisoi, the Ruach Shtus, the folly by him, incites him to, Lama lecha liyageh atzmecha? Why should you work hard? Ulatchiach kol kach et sichlecha, and to work out your intellect so much. Be'esek haTorah, in learning Torah. Arei klei sichlecha rechavim. You have very wide and sharp intellectual tools, resources. V'kama sh'ta'asok maspik lecha. By doing a little bit, that will be sufficient for you to master the subject. You don't need to spend that much time. Which is, by the way, like Gavis, it's his problem, it's my problem, it's everyone's problem, not everyone's problem. But it's such a good Yetzer Hara, by the way. Because this Yetzer Hara doesn't say don't learn. This Yetzer Hara doesn't say do an Avera, eat this, do that, go out, spend your... waste your time. No. You're doing the right thing. Are you making excuses again? I don't need to do that much. I'm fine. Look, I'm above average. You know what they say? If you're the smartest person in the room, leave. You've got nothing to do there. If it's not challenging enough for you, that doesn't mean you're good. It doesn't mean you're good. It means you have nothing to do there. Or that's my addition to this, become a giver. If you're the smartest person in the room, become a giver. Otherwise, you have nothing to do there.
But that's also kind of an arrogance when you try to teach the people in the room.
Don't try to teach. Become a giver doesn't mean trying to teach. I had a call today for the first time with a person who humbly reached out a month ago that he wants to connect and study and discover and learn because he did not have a Jewish education. I'm amazed. And I had a first call today with this person, a video call. And we had this this conversation about his life, his upbringing, and I forgot what you were saying. Yeah. Yeah. So he said, I know not. Yeah, thank you. See? He said, I know nothing. I did not have a Jewish education. And, I'm up to anything. You teach me if you would like. And he's like, and I have nothing against it. And if you manage to convince me that I should start wearing a kippah and do this and this and that, perhaps one day I will. I was like, hold on one second. I'm not here to convince anyone. That's not my job. I'm not here to teach you what to do, tell you what to do. I'm not interested in doing that. That's not me. That's not anyone. But if there's anything I have that I know that does good to me, that I can share with you, and you take it and do something with it, I have the obligation to do it. You don't have to take it. If you don't have to take it, someone else will. But I'm not here, and a giver is not a person who is superior to others and putting on them and loading on them information like, you don't know this, and I'm going to tell you, this is what you need to start doing. No, that's not, we're not talking about that. Yeah. That's called imposing. That's not called teaching. Yeah. So if you come for training, for example, let's say someone wants to learn martial arts. Here you have the guy is telling you what to do because you don't know, right? We're talking about life lessons or anything. Either you're learning or you're giving. That's the lesson. So says the Rebbe Rashab, Asher be'emet eino ken. That's not true. That you need a little bit of time and you can do it, and you can do better than everyone. You know why it's not true? Share lo yagaiti umatzasi. Lo yagati umatzasi. Al tamin. Right? Guys, we know this. Lo yagaiti means I did not toil, I did not work hard, and I got good results. Al tamin, don't believe him. Which means ubilti avoida v'higia, without hustling, without hard work, there's no way you can reach and attain real results. Obtain real results. In other words, what you consider yourself, what you consider your results above average, and therefore making the excuse that I don't have to work that hard, is a delusion. It's simply because my reference is a much lower level than my potential. So compared to those who are less capable than me, I'm better. Thank you. Compared to those who are better than you, compared to your potential, you haven't put out the, you know what? You haven't discovered your own self yet. You don't know what it's going to be like the day you're going to put double the amount of efforts that you have been doing till now. I'm not saying 100%. Let's say that you're doing 5% of your potential, which is a big, by the way, to consider, to pretend that I'm fulfilling 5% of my entire potential. It's pretty generous, no? Mm-hmm. I mean, who here considers that he's fulfilling at least 50% of his full potential? Well, that would be scary, no? That's the sad part, guys. I'm sorry it's on video. The sad part is that we know that we're not fulfilling our potential. That's terrible. No, it's terrible. We're not young kids. We're still young enough to dream about some results. We're still convincing ourselves that we're not doing so bad. The only thing we're not doing is putting the right amount of work. And I'm including myself fully in this. Most of the things are done, in Hebrew, it's kila hariyad. Kila hariyad means like, in extreme, it's like last minute, דקה 99, אומרים בעברית.
דקה 90.
דקה 90, like last minute, reluctant. Like, the very few times we put in real hard efforts, and we know we've got the best results so far. Whether it's in personal relationships, whether it's in work, study, and physical performance, anything we made a commitment and gave really everything, we came out with crazy results. And the biggest example for that is either athletes or soldiers, military. I believe you're pushed to the extreme. You're pushed to the extreme. And that's what distinguishes the athlete or the elite soldier from the rest, is the amount of time, energy, effort, and focus that he has put in. While everyone else was being average, he was obsessed, basically. I mean, he had training, he had good support, he had help, he had the best coach. All of that you have, and I have. Am I putting the time and effort and all energy? So imagine, like, let's consider, I said, thank God nobody here feels they have 50% of their potential being fulfilled in life. But imagine that in the next step, within next week, tomorrow morning, I'm putting double of what I've been doing till now. Double, not more than double. And science says, if you put double, you'll get double efforts, which might be much bigger also, because it could be a nuclear effect, which means it could break through new horizons, new opportunities, new view, a new sight. You know that when you're in the bottom of the mountain, we spoke about this many times, you're in the bottom of the mountain, you see the top of the mountain. And there's a limit how high you can see. And you're like, I want to climb there. Once you actually climb up there and you get there,
You see that you're not at the top.
yeah, you're not you're like, whoa, my gosh, this is a complete other view. So imagine by producing double effort, you're not reaching double results. You're opening up to a complete new dimension of results and of reality. You're seeing a complete new reality. So the fact that a person doesn't put in the effort, he's not there at all. Even though he claims, and it's true, it is true, that his mind, his brain is much more capable than others. And it's very easy for him to understand and grasp and study. Mikol makoim, tzarich esek v'yegia. He needs, esek means involvement. Tasuka, occupation. You need to be involved and hustle. You do not become a chacham, a wise man, automatically. This kid is a genius. What's going to be with him when he's going to be 20 years old? What's going to be with the genius? When you have a kid that is a genius, it's not a compliment. It's a big challenge for the parents to make sure that he's occupied properly and he's properly challenged and stimulated. Thank you for the good word. That's the hardest thing. If the kid is not a genius, you know what? You want to make sure that he wakes up in the morning, he eats well, and he listens to the teacher and doesn't smack anyone. But if the kid is a genius, you're facing tremendous amount of challenges. He's always ahead, but also how do you say? super super gifted children come with new challenges. Could be lazy, could be spacing out, it could be distracted. Could be a lot of new challenges, but there's much more potential, and it's not enough. That's why the whole concept of marks in a class is very, very problematic for life. That's what I'm saying. Not that it's not important to have a good marking test, because what a 70 for you means and what a 70 for him means, it's a different universe. It's not the same 70. We have no choice in school. We give out a paper, fill it out, and some teachers, if you fill it out too fast, they don't mark it. They get upset, they get insulted. The test is supposed to take an hour and a half, you finish in 30 minutes, it can't be marked. What do you mean? For certain students to provide the information, it's a tremendous effort. To memorize, yeah. But for some of them, it's not even a challenge. It's a challenge not to smack the teacher, it's a challenge not to, it's a challenge to show up to school. It's a challenge to show up to school. It's a challenge to like seriously speaking. But that student's 80 or 90 is not indicating in any sense that this person is brilliant and has fulfilled his potential. On the contrary, he's not putting the right effort. And not only that, you're not becoming that person without the work. There's a lot we can discuss, but what's the potential of the mass of muscles that a person has? How much can this rise? How much can a muscle rise? Can you tell from seeing the arm of a person? It's like, no. Why? Because every layer comes from the breakthrough. And every time you break through a muscle, you tear a muscle, you're building another muscle, another. I'm not saying that there's a limit how much, but you cannot tell from if you do 10 hours, no. If you're going to do 10 hours, you're going to be somewhere. And after that 10 hours, you can do much more and much more and much. It's infinite. You have to do it smart. Don't break your body. Don't balance in the extreme. Fine, but how much effort you're meant to put in? You're not doing it so far. I'm okay. I'm good. Most people don't even have half of what I have. Good, but you're not even half of what your potential is. ואם כלי שכלו באמת רחבים וקלים, אם היה עוסק הרבה, היה במדרגה יסר נעלה. If you would have spent more time studying, you would have known much more. וכל זהו מחמס הרוח שטוס שמכסה על האמס, ויסבורך בלבובוי, שבמעט זמן ובמעט יגיע מה שחבירו יגיע כשיעסוק זמן הרבה. It's all, again, like I said, the distraction here for him. You know what the distraction here for him is? Comparing myself to someone who's lower than me. And it takes him 2 hours to get there, I can do it in a half hour. I'm so much ahead. Which is the story in the French fable of the turtle and the...
Oh, the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah? La tortue et le lièvre. La tortue et le lièvre. The turtle goes very slow, and the lièvre, it's not a rabbit, it's a...
Hare.
Yeah. He's a very, very speed, and he is like, I'm going to race against the torture. Come on. Or when you do the arm wrestling. This guy, I'll let you go. I'll let you start here. Go. Yeah. You do it one time, and eventually the torture is winning. Why? Because I was distracted by myself. The first guy is being distracted by a piece of cake. The other guy is being distracted by an excuse. What's the excuse? I can't, I'm not, I don't have, I can't afford. The third guy is being distracted by the fact that he feels satisfied. Get pretty good results. But to brag about your talents and capabilities, you're not even halfway there. And that way you can actually lose the race. כל זהו מחמס הרוח שטות שמכסה על אמס יסבר ביבוב שבמעט זמן, with little of time, מעט יגיע, with little efforts, יגיע מה שחברו יגיע כשיעסוק זמן הרבה, I'll reach faster than all my friends. ואם כי לו יהי כדבריו, and even though it might be true what he says, למה ישכח שהוא בזמן הרבה יגיע יותר ויותר? Okay, you know what? With such a little time, I can get that far. How much further can you get with a lot more time? I'm being distracted. Well, how do we say in Yiddish? Chassidim used to say, as good is good, as besser is nicht besser. If good is good, better is not better. Right? Think free is free. Not paying anything for so long is something. Right? But that doesn't sound good in English. Yeah, why? Because they had a commercial in France. You probably don't remember this. When the first cell phones came out, they had 3 months free.
Orange.
No, Bouygues Telecom, way before.
Bouygues.
You think you think that nothing is nothing? Paying nothing for 3 months is something. Okay? So as good is good, as besser is nicht besser. If good is good, better is not better. No matter how good we can do better. למה ישכח שהוא בזמן הרבה היה מגיע יויסר ויויסר ובאמס גם זה טעות אצלו שהרי לא יגעתי ומצאתי אל תאמין. וכן יש שטוסים כאלו שנדמה שכבד לפניו לבריאוס גופו. A new type of excuses. I know I can, but I didn't sleep well last night. I've been waking up by the baby. I'm talking about my excuses, by the way. Like this, I'm being very honest. My wife went away. I had to take care of the kids. Someone called me. I couldn't prepare the show because someone called me. Someone wanted to speak to me. I'm very solicited, so I didn't have time to prepare. I couldn't pay the bill because I was so busy with helping this guy. Making excuses. End of the day. So he says here, very interesting. He says, a person, nidme, seems to him, shekaved lefanav, it's difficult, it's heavy for him to accomplish. I can't wake up early in the morning and do workout because I finish late working, and if I don't get a good night of sleep, then I can't function by day. Like I'm telling myself a whole story, a real story. Look, the first morning I woke up, what happened? I was a zombie. I couldn't function a whole day. For my health, it's not good. My body can't take it, right? The kadoime biprate achushim, each one in their different senses. One's like, I can't walk that much. I can't study that much. I can't sit for too long. Yeah, I can't stay still. Or I can't, everyone have their own excuses of what their body or their physical health or ecosystem gives them, that because of that they're unable to do that. I can't really focus my mind so much. Or I can't focus with my eyes. I can't stay focused or whatever it is. It's pure lie. It's a complete lie. What does a person do if he has a headache? What should a person do if he has a headache? I'm sure everyone at the table has a different answer. Yasak b'Torah. Chash b'chol gufo. Yasak b'Torah. As the Gemara in Eruvin says, if your head hurts, learn Torah. If your stomach hurts, learn Torah. If your foot hurts, learn Torah. Whatever part, learn Torah. Why? Because it says Torah is l'chol b'sar u'machpeh. Torah is a remedy for your entire body. So you're saying I cannot learn Torah because my body is not strong enough. It's like saying I cannot take the treatment because I'm too weak. But the treatment is, the doctor prescribed the treatment to you because you're weak. And this is what's going to make you feel better. Right? That's not me. The Rebbe tells that to a person in a letter. It's an Eagles Kiddush. The person said, I know I'm supposed to add more Torah, but I'm so desperate these days and my situation is so catastrophic that I'm unable to attend a Torah class and start putting. When I'm going to be better, I'm going to start learning Torah. The Torah is what's going to make you better. Are you pushing that off? Im kain, en zois, ki im sha'ruach shtus manhigo b'derech lo tova. You're ruach shtus. You see, what's the ruach shtus? What's the folly here? When we think of folly, ruach, when you tell a person is ruach shtus, he thinks of something like a person is a psychopath, person lost his mind, person is no. Manhigo b'derech lo tova. It puts him in the wrong path. I call this distraction. You've been distracted. That's insanity. Opposite of common sense. And in addition to that, you know what? Forget about yourself right now. We're talking about serving Hashem. We're talking about serving Hashem. You're not there because you're being distracted. You have been created in order to serve Hashem, learn Torah to your full potential, and do what Hashem wants. And right now, you're making an excuse. You're not doing it. Like we said last time, you're either making money or making an excuse. You cannot do both together. You're either serving Hashem, making an excuse. So by making an excuse, besides the fact that you're not fulfilling your own potential, but you're not doing what Hashem is expecting from you, you're not serving Hashem. You're not there. So who is worse? The guy who is making excuses, the guy who is so talented that he's ahead of everybody, or the simple guy who was Mechalel Shabbos, didn't keep Shabbat properly, or didn't eat fully kosher, or Chas v'Shalom did much worse averot. We said that guy, after he's done that avera, you know how he feels? He feels bad. He feels horrible. That itself is already a teshuvah. But me, when I'm making excuses why I don't need to do more than that because I'm already ahead of everyone, that's finished. That's done. I'm not serving my purpose. I end with this famous story that is also in my the line of my WhatsApp status that everyone can see. Is that that person came to the Rebbe, and I said the story many times recently. That person came to the Rebbe and told the Rebbe, Rabbi, you know, we have contributed a lot of and supporting a lot of Chabad institutions here and there, and we have done that, and we have donated this amount, and we gave a grant of that amount, and he tells the Rebbe, at some point, I don't know if he tapping the Rebbe on the shoulder, and one of those philanthropists, Rabbi, are you happy? Are you satisfied? And the Rebbe looked at him, and the Rebbe says, I'm always happy, I'm never satisfied.
It's so good.
Always happy, I'm never satisfied. And that's why I said to feel happy, because we said satisfaction. Satisfaction doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel happy about the right things you're doing. You're happy every moment. Are you satisfied? That's a terrible thing. That's a landslide. So l'chaim v'ivracha, mishenichnas adam marbim besimcha, we should be always happy, but never satisfied, always push more and push more and push more. And by next week, we should see how much each one of us is producing double efforts than we have done till now. L'chaim.
Right.